Welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Sylvia and I make videos on planning with the occasional review. Planning has always been my way of working out problems and solving the day-to-day issues in my life. Join me as I experiment on how to best tackle projects, figure out how to stick with habit tracking, and celebrate the wins, both big and small. So grab a cup or a glass of whatevs and let's get on with the video. Hey planner friends, so 10 days flew by and today is July 21st, 2024 in case you're watching this in the future. So if you are watching this in the future, I have been planning in 10-day periods for the month of July, and this was my first attempt at the mid-month, and now we are coming here to set up the late month. I have cut out one of these pieces of paper at about the same height but a little bit more narrow so that I can stick it inside my bullet journal pocket with the A6 orientation so I can take it with me on the go. So I did remember to round the corner just in case it came to the edge. If you haven't been following the channel, or you just found this video and didn't watch the one before, I have been doing a new planning method that I found on a YouTube channel called Amidst the Grey, and I will try to remember to link her video down below, but if not, it's linked in the previous video. So I'm using these bullet journal A6 notebooks, and they're A6 in orientation, so if you open it like this, it's supposed to be the exact size of an A5 page in an A5 Leuchtturm notebook. The numbers are off to the side here as one page instead of down at the bottoms here. And I have currently been using this for what she calls the mid-month period. So one more time, just in case you didn't watch that video and to remind myself as I'm doing this, she breaks down her months in 10-day increments, which is pretty awesome because it divides pretty evenly. So you have the 1st through the 10th, and that is called early month, and the 11th through the 20th, which is called mid-month, the 21st to the end of the month, depending on if you're in a leap year or not, and what month you're in. So the 21st to the 31st for July. And that's what we're here to set up today. So this is my Nolte. This is getting a little bent up. 6501, and it is comparable to the Jibun Techo in A5 Slim because it also has the monthly and then the weekly time blocking situation, which is so cute. This is a little bit cleaner even than the Biz version, but still really great, and I absolutely love this little planner. Now, I don't want to actually carry this around with me in my purse when I could just carry this tiny notebook for the summertime, because in the summertime I carry a much smaller purse, whereas in winter, and I'm usually in a car, I carry something a little bit bigger, so this fits in that purse for winter. But for right now, I want everything on the go to fit in here. I am using this Nolte as my capture method, so all of my appointments go in one place right here, and then I pull from here and I put it on this cute little... Sorry, my phone rang. My sister's like on her way here, so I'm gonna try to get this done as fast as I can. Anyway, so Amidst the Grey, she created an Alistair method of her 10 days up here. So the 11th through the 20th, this was the mid-month, and you can see right there. So I'm going to redo this for the late month and change the dates. Hopefully I remember to do this. I might have to do this silently and speed through it or something like that so I can focus, because I'm telling you, walking and chewing gum at the same times can be a struggle for me. So talking and planning might be a little bit rough. That's why I don't do it as much. And I did go ahead and highlight over the pen with the gray highlighter, just because it allowed me to see the columns a little better. This is dot grid. This time I decided to go with square grid because I feel like I can see those lines a little bit better. I know it's kind of light and faded, but I can see them pretty nicely here in real life. So hopefully this will help me see a little bit better, and maybe if you also have square grid, it'll help you line up things nicely. But I found that I had to go like this as my list got longer, and this end of the month might actually be even longer than this because I'm going to try to pack as much as I can into the tail end of the month. And because there's 31 days, that means technically planning 10-day periods, we have an extra bonus day. Do you not love that? I do love that. So 31-day months are always going to be my favorite. Usually are, because you do get that extra day of planning. Okay, just kidding, friends. Sometimes I can't find things. I forget that I have these. These are the mild liners that are dual-sided. So you have a brush tip and then you have a super fine tip like that, which I love because you can highlight with this side. And if you're like me and you like 5mm or wider, this can highlight the whole 5mm, whereas most of the, like these ones, especially the Mr. Pen, they have just the tiniest little tip. I know. And so sometimes I have to do 2 passes on here in order to get the whole 5mm, and I hate that. But this, you just put more pressure and it will, you know, do those wider columns, which is what I want to make. So I'm gonna go ahead and use a mild liner in this light blue because I don't know where my gray went, but this is what I used last time. Tombos work as well. So if you have a Tombow, that works really good with 5mm as well. Okay, so first thing is first, you guys, I've got to number this before I forget. So let's see, how many squares did I go down here? It looks like I went 1, 2, about 3 down. And I was just like up here at the top. This is not something I don't think she has in her videos. I was just like checking off as I was going the days as they passed. And then of course, these last couple of days, I just forgot all about that. Look at it, I already just marked up my page. That's totally fine. We can write on the back. And also you can write on the back of this one, but and I normally would do that because then I would have this to refer to and then like the new one on this side. However, I want to carry it in here and it doesn't fit in here as is. I would have to cut a part of it off, and I kind of want to keep this to refer to for a while before I get rid of it. So there's that. Okay, and then the days of the week. This is how I get into trouble, you guys. I should have started with Monday, Thursday, whatever, up at the top and then went down, because sometimes I put my hand here and this is not dry yet. I know. Again, currently I am using the Uniball 1 because I like how this feels. It's smooth. It has a nice clip, so it hooks on to this little notebook and I can take it with me wherever I go. However, I do have a, what's this guy called? Sarasa refill in here because I like how opaque the ink is. Just a very bold, beautiful black. Look at what I just did. I totally just wrote an extra one. This is why I can't talk and chew gum at the same time, out of control. It's totally fine. It's totally fine. My asterisk goes here. Anyway, can we tell that's what that is? That could possibly be some kind of word in Chinese, if I'm being honest. It's fancy and I like it. Okay, I'm gonna leave it. It's totally fine. We're gonna let it go. I usually use my friction pen, but man, I'm telling you, I really like how bold this is on the paper. I just love it. So that's what I've been doing. And here you can tell the difference. This is friction. Okay, so what else am I doing here? I have some space at the top to check it off. I can also write 10-day planning. Do you see how I'm getting myself in that situation of like rubbing this around before it's dry? This is why I'm a smudger. I smudge. You also let me know down below. And then I draw a line. So I've been using this. I know it's not the most beautiful. Green is my favorite color, but not this color of green. It's just a little rough, but anyway. And this like mustard color, what's happening here? These were for, I don't even know what year. They don't say on them, do they? I don't think so. Anyway, these are the Hobonichi Weeks little writing boards, and I like this for the size. It works really well for me. Did I use black? Yes, I did. Sometimes I like to use pencil because making a line can be very harsh, but I guess I went with this, so I'm gonna go with it again. Try my best not to mark on my calendar. And then across. Have I messed up yet, guys? you would let me know if I did. Okay, yay. And then up here, I just have the year and whether it's mid-month, we are in late month. And then I'm going to put the month, July, and then through the 21st. Oh, sorry, starting with the 21st through the 31st. Okay, so we're good. And then, I haven't seen that movie in a long time. I mean, nobody needs to watch it, but it's kind of hilarious sometimes. All right, I'm gonna do my highlighter speedy quick. And a pro tip, not that I'm probably gonna do, oh, well, maybe I will. I'm just kind of lazy about it, is that if you use like a ruler, this is also pretty good size for this paper. If you use a ruler on this side, it makes it less wobbly. Let's see if that's true. I mean, in the past, that has been my experience. And I actually didn't use this as much as I thought I would, so I'm gonna take that off. Okay, that's one. Did it kind of work a little bit? It's a little less wobbly. Let me pull it up. Kind of wobbly because I freehanded it, used a ruler. Yes, no, the same. Maybe. Okay, and we got her done. Yay. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. All right, all finished. And then I can go ahead and start filling this out in a minute, but I want to move on quickly to setting up my dailies. So let me show you what that's been looking like. First of all, I did set this up sort of for the rest of the end of July. I should just put end or late month. I got to get that lingo down, but I did go ahead and set this up in here, and I didn't write up here because I thought, well, maybe I want to categorize things. I ended up not doing that, but that's okay because this is in pencil, so I can just erase it and it's not that serious. But I am trying to use kind of like a monthly to do in here as well, because I don't really have a space for that in here. Certainly there are pages in the back, but again, if I don't want to carry this with me, then it's a situation. Okay, I'm sorry, I zoomed in way too much. Just pull back, Sylvia. Okay. So this is how I started my mid-month. I decided to go ahead and use it in A5 orientation for these little bullet journal pocket notebooks, and that was cool. And again, I mentioned these stickers I got from Walmart online. No, sorry, Amazon online. And if you're wondering what these days underneath, this is just my countdown of 10 days. So the 11th was the first of 10 days, all the way to the last day of my 10-day unit or planning period. So once again, you can go ahead and plan this way. You can see that this is page 9, but I decided to go ahead and go like this, and it worked out for me just as well. I did do headers here. There's a couple things I wanted to point out. I believe I went through and already checked off and moved everything off of that page. So any open tasks I had over here, I went ahead and I made these little nicks here so that I could see and point a few of them out to you, because I did do a couple of things differently. So the first thing I did a little different was I knew I was going to be home Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and that my partner had some time off, and we were going to work on cleaning out his office because his mother is coming soon and she's going to be staying in there. That's kind of like our well, technically the guest room. And his office is crazy. He's a hoarder. I'm not gonna get into it. I love him anyway. So I decided I didn't want to do a header for every single day because we were gonna be home for these 3 days and we were just gonna get whatever we could done. So what I ended up doing, for those who are new here, part of the method is using this margin. And so the way the margin is set up is you put a little dot for the task, and then you put the day that you activated that task and the day you finished that task. And you can also have this little column here for if you need to add any kind of signifier, like an asterisk, meaning that it needs to be done ASAP. So that's how this section works here. I just left it kind of open with no headers because I was like 18th, 19th, 20th. It doesn't matter what day these get done as long as they get done. And so that's how I was kind of checking them off. You can see that I have a couple of migrating tests here that I didn't finish, one with an asterisk, just because I was honestly trying to get this done right away. Does it have to get done? I guess obviously my brain's like, no, I can keep pushing that back, but I really wanted to get it done sooner rather than later. I have a couple here with arrows. These were just things that I had kind of over planned here a little bit, hoping that I could chip away at them during this 3-day period, but it didn't happen, so it's okay. I'm completely going to forward them. I never even activated them on 1, 2, or any of the 3 days here. Right here, I ended up, because I didn't need this extra column here for some of these tasks, to put an asterisk or asterisk. I don't know why that word is like stumbling over it. I'm sorry. Or any kind of signifier here. I just went ahead and wrote down that this audiobook, because we were watching, what is it, Umbrella Academy as we were cleaning. So I didn't get to do a lot of audiobooking. So it took me from the 19th and the 20th to get 2 hours of audiobooking in. So I just used this extra column to mark, yes, that I did this on the 19th, but I also had to do it on the 20th too, because I thought I was going to finish it and I didn't. So, and again, this is not an erasable pen, which you could certainly use. And instead of marking it out, I was like, just write the 19th and tomorrow I'll remember to put the 20th, and that's when I finished it. So for instance, if that happens, I can just put a square around it, and that way I know that this was the day and that's why I did that. Does that make sense? I hope so. I may change how I do that in the future, but for now, that's how it ended up happening. So those were a few things I wanted to point out. This one was also something. So I was hoping I would sit down and get to do her pages, but because we got this time together, we ended up working on The Office. I had to chip away at this. And so I had already written the 18th as activating it. I read some pages here, and then the next day I read some more, and then the 20th, because we are doing bigger chunks of our manuscript, we basically broke our manuscript into 4 parts, and I'm reading part 2 right now of hers. I just put a little arrow saying that I need to continue to migrate this because I still have a few pages left of this task. And so that's sort of how I'm doing this in dailies. Like if you had an Alistair method like this, and I was going to schedule that out here, then I could just put a dot for every day until it got finished. Since I don't have that option here, this was another way I used it. Again, I didn't have to put a signifier here because I still have plenty of time to get this task done before we meet, but I was hoping to get it done within the next couple of days. So I hope all of that makes sense. If you need me to clarify something, you can ask down below and I'll try to answer your questions as best as I possibly can. But that's what's going on here and why I don't have headers for every single one of these days. And now we are on the 21st, which is the first day of the new 10-day planning period plus bonus day, which I'm kind of excited about. So I'm going to set this up speedy quick and then start planning on both of these. Sometimes I can just plan here, but if I see something and I get an idea for you know, a task for the day, then I just go here as well. I'm sorry. Is that how you guys also plan? Probably, because this is like in real time. So I might have to either speed quick this or add some music while I am kind of quiet doing this because I got to think about a couple of different things, and then I'll come back. Okay, so as I am, you know, doing all of this for the first time, I am starting to tweak a few things. I decided that I wanted a column here just for my signifiers, just to try it out. I don't know if I need it or not, I also thought maybe, oops, geez, I'm just like throwing things. I could put the day things started to kind of separate it from everything else. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do. Obviously, we'll find out as I go on, but I don't know. I just kind of like when things look a little bit more uniformed than this. So I don't know. We'll see how it goes. So I moved over, or I moved in rather, 3. And that's just so I have some space for these little dates. And then, of course, it's 1, 2, 3, 4 in, so that I have one column for my dot saying that I activated the task, and then the column for what day I activated it, another column for the day that I finished that task, and then my other column, which is for my signifiers, which might go in here. And again, this is only in pencil, so if I hate the way it looks, I can erase it. It's not that serious. And because I can't find my gray, I guess I'm just going to use blue in here, which is totally fine because that'll also help me learn the numbers, because these are different dates than I'm used to for, you know, start and stops. So using this highlighter across can distinguish this from this. Does that make sense? Oh, at the top first, I should probably write down that we are in late month and what days those are. Oh, let me put this sticker date first so that I make sure I put it in the right place. So many things. And I encourage you to watch her channel if you haven't, because hers is not that serious. It's like speedy quick. Her what's it called? Okay, I got cut off because this video is getting long. Anyway, what was I saying? Yes, definitely check out her channel because she talks about how she uses a Field Notes notebook. It's not that serious. I just find that, like I mentioned in my other video, if I use things and make them look neat, I am more likely to continue to use them than I am if it's a hot mess. It's still slightly a hot mess, but it's my hot mess. You know what I mean? Everyone has their levels of what minimal means. You can absolutely keep this minimal, and oh my god, this is really bad. I just did that live on camera. You know what? We're gonna keep that. Did I just talk about why we don't want hot messes? I pushed down too far. Oh, Sylvia. This is hilarious. This is why you can't plan for perfection. It's just not a thing. That is so funny. It's fine. It's totally fine. Whatever. Moving on, you live, you learn. I think I made this a little bit more skinnier. A little bit more skinnier, is that even English? Than I did over here, which is okay. Because I used the dots over here. It's fine. It's totally fine. We're going to work with it, people. We're going to work with it. Okay, so to make sure that I don't use this incorrectly, where's my little stick? My little sticky note, which will be a sticky note because I'm going to use washi tape with it. So Sunday. This is Sunday. How many things am I forwarding? Maybe I should go through and mark these a little bit better. So this was Thursday. And I'm just going to put in age here. At the time I was doing this, I knew and I didn't need to, but when I'm looking back, it's a little bit more confusing. So this would have been Saturday. Does that work? Can we do that? Of course we can. It's ours. We can do what we want. All right. So now Sunday can go here. And I love how bold this is when you highlight underneath instead of on top. So I highly recommend that if you can. Sometimes if you're using like a needle point or something like that, they can get clogged if you're writing over highlighters. This one doesn't. I think it's a 0.5. Even though it says 0.3, remember I'm tricking you. I actually have a Sarasa ink cartridge in here. In a 0.5. Okay, and then look how cute this is. I love that. Like, I wish I had the sticky note situation. Washi tape isn't too bad. But anyway, you can just keep it like right here on the inside. Maybe I should do like a tip-in that comes over like that, so no matter what day I'm on, I can see that. Wouldn't that be snazzy? I might figure that out. How would I do that, you guys? I guess I could do it this way, right? Tip it in the back, and then I can, well, no, I'd have to put it in the front because it might cut off the day 21. Is that like a thing I could do? I don't know if I'd like that. I might not get that together. We'll see what I do. Just thoughts for your guys's though. So now I think I can finally open this guy up and start filling stuff out. So we're only focusing on the last 10 days of the month. I might somewhere like at the bottom here decide to write down 2 or 3 things that are coming up on August 1st, just because, let's see, that's a Thursday, so I might not have a ton of stuff. If it's a Monday, I usually try to schedule meetings on that day, so I might not have a lot of stuff, but anything that might be coming up that first day, I kind of put down here so that's always like in the back of my mind, since I won't have this filled out possibly within the last, couple of days of this unit. You could do it right now if you wanted to, but I just want to focus on here, and if I do that, I know I'll start writing stuff on there, and I don't want to do that yet. Does that make sense? Are you also that person? I understand if you are. Okay, so I made the decision that I'm going to activate it here. Day it was activated, day it was finished, and then right here is where my signifier is going to go in this column so that I can see it nice and nice. I know that signifiers, you choose them so that you can only use one. Okay, so for those of you who are like, signifiers, what I'm not sure about bullet journaling. You can see them on the page without using a highlighter, and that's what's kind of awesome about them. You can just look and be like, okay, this has an asterisk, I need to pay attention to that. You can use other signifiers like an exclamation point. Some people for ideas or thoughts will use like a little I instead. You can use a heart to mean something else, just whatever you want. And it's just a way to not have to carry a highlighter to highlight things. And I really like that about the bullet journaling system. So it really doesn't need its own column, but I'm just gonna give it a go. You know what I mean? Take what you like and leave what you don't. I'm kind of crazy. So I'm gonna just stick things in there we might not need. Okay, so that's the one thing I have scheduled, and this is done for right now because I'm going to go through later and add more stuff. So we're actually done with this, so I hope that you understand how this works, and we're just going to move on to filling out this guy. I am going to put a circle here because this is an open appointment. Since this whole row here is going to be for this actual appointment, I'm going to put my writers group here. You could leave more space for time or write smaller. I'm just going to write it across here because once again, I'm not going to put anything else in any of these other days for this one category across for this row. That makes sense. Am I saying that right? I think you know what I mean, but I hope you do. We'll see how it goes. Maybe I need to zoom back in. Okay, I'm going to zoom back in so you can see what I'm doing. I went ahead and left an open circle here because this is an appointment. This whole row is dedicated just to this one thing that's happening on this one day. So I can write whatever I want from here to here. And so I'm going to go ahead and put the date in here. And then she also does this in her videos. Excuse me, not the date, the time. So it's 1 p.m. / 2 p.m. because I actually have to go in a little bit earlier. So that's what I'm writing there. And then I'm just going to go with my next task. So I don't have anything else for today scheduled. So I'm going to move on from this column and go to Monday the 22nd. I hope that makes sense. I just noticed that as I'm reading this, I don't know what I was doing here, but I think sometimes I forget to mark these off, and I'll just mark off like 4 days in a row. And I marked off today and these 2 days, which I don't know why I did that. So if you saw that, is confusing to me as well. So I do stuff like that, you guys. This is not perfect planning. It's kind of funny. Okay, so that is everything for the 22nd. No, Alyssa to me means that we're not meeting this week. We're going to meet every 2 weeks for the next couple of times. So, well, at least this time. We'll see how it goes next time. And so I am done with Monday the 22nd, and I'm moving on to the next column, which is Tuesday the 23rd. And I have one meeting with Evie. And again, there's nothing else going for this specific task, so I can just write Evie meeting And that's why I put the time here. I think that's why she also puts the time, because again, you don't have to put anything else in this row. And that's it. So for the 24th and the 25th, I don't have anything scheduled. I do have my 5K Friday walk on the 26th, so I will put that down here. A little wonky K. All right, the 26th. Oh my gosh, you guys, this color is helping me so much. I highly recommend it. Even if you're not doing the 10-day planning, if you do an Alistair method, give it a go. Try to use a ruler because I think it works a little bit better. And then either some type of brush tip, either the Mildliner brush or your Tombows. Yeah, works nice. Okay, so for this date, I actually have 3 things. So we're gonna go to the 29th, which is on a Monday. I have 3 things. I'm gonna try to put them in the time order. You don't have to with an Alistair method. That's a great thing, but it's helpful to me if I can. And I am going to write in erasable pen my meeting with my Meet Cute group. Okay, moving on. Nothing on the 30th, so we can skip that column. On the 31st, I just have last day of Camp Nano. I'm not technically doing Camp Nano, but you know, when I'm saying that I'm tracking for the month, I just call it a nano. I think we all do anymore. If you know what that is, then you know. Okay, so 31 is at 1 p.m. Okay, my niece has an optometrist meeting, or appointment rather, so that is important on the 31st. Okay, and that's how this little guy works, and how you fill that guy out, and how this guy helps. If you're wondering, I put one of these little stickers from the back. They come with the actual notebooks. I just folded it over, so it's kind of long. I folded it over for July because this is where I started some note taking in the back. So using all the things. Yes, and I'll decide whether or not I'm going to tip this in or what have you. I wish it was a sticky note that I could pick up and pull off. I'm sure there's some kind of glue that you can use to make anything a sticky note. If you know, let me know down below. But for right now, this is okay. And I like that I can cut it the size that I need. Again, this is just from the Traveler's Notebook inserts. I just cut one out of the back, and that works fine. All right, so let me know what you guys think about this. Have you tried the 10-day planning yet? It's working well for me. Well, that is everything, you guys. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I hope that was helpful. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.